They call up the team before us. My team and I step forward, next in line. The music starts. We go through our routine one last time in our heads. I know exactly what I need to do. I trained for this moment for months. My heart is pounding. The bass from the music vibrates in my chest. I can't stand still. Next up, Sutra. We run in. I glance at the judges. They're holding up the red flag. I'll have to wait for the green one before I step onto the mat, or else I get a deduction. I look over at my teammates. Nervous smiles. We've got this, I think. We've done it 100 times. Then, green flag. The first teammate takes off. I'm next. I run, full power, ready to crush that springboard. But something feels off. I jump, but it's too low. I don't get the height. I tuck in too early, and then I crash right onto my back. The one thing I wasn't supposed to do. I've become an expert at falling, not because life has been hard, but because I'm a gymnast. And in gymnastics, you do one thing more than anything else. You fall and get back up. That's actually how you get better. You fall and you try again, and again, and again. Falling doesn't mean you're bad at it. It just means you haven't nailed it yet. But if you don't get back up, you stay down. And that's what I want to talk about today, because there are many ways to fall. In gymnastics, you learn more than flips and tricks. You learn how to manage stress. You learn how to trust your team. You learn structure. And you learn that tiny details can have a huge difference. Take this for example. If I start my run-up just 20 centimeters too far back, I miss the springboard. I lose balance and I land flat on my face. 20 centimeters, it's almost nothing. But in gymnastics and in life, it can be the difference between success and a hard fall. And that's where I want to connect gymnastics to something way bigger than sport. Belonging. Or more precisely, the lack of it. We often think exclusion happens in big, dramatic ways. But sometimes it starts small, like not getting a text about the hangout, or never being invited, or just feeling like you never really fit in. Anyone can relate to the feeling of standing outside the circle, watching everyone else on Snap Map, all their little bit emojis clustered together, and yours totally alone. You might wonder, did I do something wrong? Or did I just forget about me? 20 centimeters here, 20 centimeters there, and suddenly the distance between you and everyone else feels impossible to close. In gymnastics, we're a team. If one person falls, it affects all of us. Except we don't blame each other. We support each other. That might be one of the most important lessons I learned. You don't go far alone. When I ran back into line after falling, I wasn't met with any angry stares. My teammate said, "Almost, Sara." A pat on the back. "You'll get it next round." That helped me reset. Try again. And on my next turn, I nailed it. Perfect takeoff, smooth twist, solid landing. I turned to the judges with a big smile, and my team was cheering loud enough to drown out anything else. But here's the thing. I've always had a team that cheered for me. Not everyone does. What happens to the ones who never gets a team? No structure, no one checking in, no one reminding them to show up. Gymnastics gave me discipline, routines, and a sense of mastery. It's kept me on my feet both in gym and in life. Unfortunately, I know many young people don't have that. No coach, no schedule, no safe space to fall and get back up. And when everyday life falls apart, it's easier to fall out and even harder to find your way back in. In Norway, 16.2% of young adults are not in school, not in training, not in work. That's 114,000 people standing outside a circle without a team. And those 20 centimeters, they've turned into miles. When you don't have a class to go to or a job to show up for, the day starts to blur. It doesn't matter if you wake up at 1 p.m. and go to bed at 4 a.m. It's a loop that's hard to break, especially alone. But let's be real, pushing yourself too hard isn't the answer either. Research shows that 8 out of 10 young adults have experienced signs of burnouts. We don't just need people who push us, we need people who say, "You got this, take a break. I believe in you." I've been lucky. On nights when I pushed myself too far, written until I lose my voice, training until my legs shake, I had coaches and parents who say, "Stop, Sara. You've done enough. Try again tomorrow." In gymnastics, if you overtrain, you'll get injured and are out for much longer than if you just took a little break. The same goes for life. If your brain and body never gets rest, eventually there's nothing left to give. But repetition is the key to mastery. The more chances you get, the more likely it is that you land it. That's why we should give each other second chances, and third, and fourth, because falling is a part of learning, and no one lands it perfectly the first time. However, if we want people to rise, we need to be your team, the one that says, "You got this. Try again. You are enough." Yesterday, I stepped 20 centimeters further back on the mat, and I landed the best jump I've ever done. Because sometimes 20 centimeters is all it takes to fall flat or to fly.